What's up, everyone? As you know, a lot of automotive journalists and reviewers often get asked, you drive these new cars all the time. So what do you actually drive yourself? What do you actually own and drive on a daily basis? So I will fess up, for the most part, this is my wife's car, but I thought I'd take a minute to show you guys our 2001 Mercedes Benz E320 Wagon, also known as the W210. Stick around for a couple minutes. Let's check it out. So I know you guys might be thinking, how does this dude afford a 50K Mercedes wagon? Well, frankly, over 50K is what it cost in 2001. And no, I did not pay that for this. Many of you guys might know that, older German luxury cars often deal with a lot of problems and electronic gremlins, and of course parts are a little more expensive and hard to find, and that's a risk you need to be willing to take. But if you do so, you can sometimes score a pretty good deal. In this case, I bought this about 5 years ago, and I picked it up for under $9,000 with, I think, about 76 or 78,000 miles on it. So nonetheless, don't go think I'm some high roller out here. But anyways, so as you guys know, with German automakers, well, not so much today, but it used to be that the number on the back, in this case E320, tells you the displacement of the engine. In this case, it's still true. This is an E320, meaning this is a 3.2 liter V6. What I really like about this powertrain is really, in many respects, it's kind of old school. It's mounted longitudinal. Behind that is a 5-speed automatic. Then hooked up to that is a drive shaft, and then a differential going to the rear end. Now, we could argue that that's not as good in snow, and I've experienced that. I have snow tires for these that I use in the winter, but you don't end up with a lot of the problems you end up with front-wheel drive cars in terms of U-joints, CV joints, all that kind of stuff. So it's been very reliable in that respect, and frankly, I love this powertrain. It was rated for 221 horsepower in 2001 and 232 pound-feet of torque. Back in those days, that was pre the EPA change in regulations to a little bit more rigorous testing schedule. So it was rated, I believe, at 20, 28, 22 combined. I actually have seen 28 on the highway before, but as you guys know, there's every once in a while you get a tailwind going downhill that you're going to get, pretty good fuel economy. As a whole, I got a bike rack on the top. I live out here in the West, and we drive pretty fast, and consistently cruises beautifully at 80 miles an hour plus, which I love about it. It doesn't even put up a fuss, and returns mid-20s in the fuel economy on the highway. Around town, I get about 22 or so. So anyways, I'm a big fan of the powertrain. It's so smooth, even with 160-some thousand miles on it, what we have now. It's starting to show its age, but at 160,000 miles, it's just beginning to feel like some other cars at 40,000 miles. The fact of the matter is, you buy a wagon for space. And you guys know that I'm often looking at the space of cars and I'm complaining that they're just not that big. And here's why, man. I mean, this is my litmus test. This thing is huge, okay? This is old school. I mean, let me show you something. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a third row. Seat folds up. This one goes down, and you have yourself a 7-passenger car, sedan, wagon, whatever you want to call it, right? I mean, how many of these are on the market anymore? Now, frankly, you're not going to get adults in here that often, not that comfortably. I've had my mother in here, my mother-in-law even, and it's not that bad. But for kids and stuff, this is awesome. They love it. And then of course, with it folded back down and the seats folded down, this thing is huge. Let me just give you a litmus test here. So as you guys know, I usually bring along household items like my guitar case and stuff to give you an idea for how big something is. Let me do it a different way for this. I'm 5'8", and I'm pretty much in. Pull my feet back slightly and we could shut the door. And I'm not really that uncomfortable. When I fold the seats down, I can lay in this thing. In fact, I've slept in it for mountain bike races before. It works great. So I kind of challenge you to say, what other vehicles on the market can give you this much cargo space? Let me know in the comments. Suburban maybe? Yeah. I don't know. What else? Of course, I should mention some of the awesome other features about this wagon. That's right. Full-size spare right here in the back, completely out of the elements. In fact, you can see I store stuff inside the spare. There's even room underneath there. On this side, you can't see it quite as well. This is, oh, my Mercedes first aid kit. 6-disc CD changer, that's right, we still have those. And the Bose subwoofer. I mean, there's a ton of space back here. Forgot to mention, even has cup holders. All right, I'll give you the ubiquitous back seat shot. I mean, what else can I say? Do I look comfortable? Because I am comfortable. I mean, normally my kids' car seats are back here, but when you take them out, I mean, this is awesome. Throw a couple buddies in here and go on a long road trip. I mean, there's even cutouts for your knees. I mean, it's nice leather. It's great. Out here on the open road, the E320 Mercedes is in its element. Now, yeah, my friends have told me, accused me of this being kind of a stodgy old grandma and grandpa car, but you know what? This is its element and it just soaks up the bumps. I mean, you put miles upon in this car and it's just so comfortable. It's great for road trips, and my family has driven thousands of miles of road trips in this car to and from the Midwest. So what are the pros to buying an older Mercedes Benz wagon? And what are the cons, more importantly? Well, I've mentioned a ton of the pros, and frankly, we love this car. It's gonna be hard to see it go, and I'm not exactly sure what we're gonna replace it with, frankly, especially once my wife has kind of gotten used to how nice Mercedes Benzes are. We'll have to figure that one out. Maybe you guys can give me some suggestions down below. But let's talk cons a little bit. Well, first of all, because of this car, you know, and what it is, there actually is a passionate group of people that, you know, own and maintain these cars, especially the older ones. And you can find them on the Benz World forums, and they have a wealth of information that we share and help each other out when it comes to maintenance and doing stuff ourselves and saving money, things like that, finding parts and so forth, diagnosing problems. Now, as I mentioned, cons. Well, first of all, with maintenance, yeah, this is a Mercedes Benz. It takes fully synthetic 0W40 oil, and it takes, I believe, 8 quarts of it. So an oil change on this is very expensive, even if I do it myself. Fortunately, it goes about 10,000 miles between oil changes. Now, what else? Well, of course, I mentioned I've had some problems with this, particularly in the area of electronics. You guys have seen my other video where I've been dealing with some security system issues, and I still deal with those issues somewhat. The climate control can be finicky. Not that it ever doesn't give you air conditioning or heat, but you know, sometimes it doesn't want to blow on my feet, stuff like that. You know, lately the automatic wiper control has decided it doesn't want to fully turn off, so now I can be driving on a beautiful day like today, and suddenly the wiper thinks it needs to cycle through and, you know, clean the windshield. So stuff like that does come up, but as a whole, we've been really happy with this car. You know, it was a little bit of a risk, but it paid off for us, and we're hoping to get even more miles and years out of it yet. As always, guys, thanks for watching. I hope this was interesting for you. I'm really trying to grow this channel, so please like and share, and as always, subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.